When people picture wealthy celebrity couples, the names Simon Guobadia and Porsha Williams often come up. Together, they have built an image of glamour, drama, and luxury that attracts both fans and critics. Their relationship is constantly under the spotlight, feeding tabloids, blogs, and social media chatter. But recently, one statement from Simon shook that carefully polished image. It wasn't about a new business deal or a rumored scandal with another famous figure. It wasn't even about their marriage directly. It was about something that seemed small on the surface but carried enormous weight once the details sank in: his mansion. Simon made it clear that the sprawling property he calls home will never belong to Porsha. Not now, not ever. How it began. The drama started with a post from Porsha. She shared a glamorous video of her surroundings, sweeping shots of the mansion's grand entrance, shiny marble floors, glittering chandeliers, and hallways that looked more like a luxury hotel than a home. It was classic influencer-style content, meant to dazzle and impress. Fans loved it. The comments flooded in. She's living like a queen. Her glow-up is real. She finally found her happy ending. People celebrated what they thought was Porsha's new chapter of comfort and success. But while her followers clapped and cheered, Simon's reaction was the complete opposite. He didn't repost it, he didn't drop a sweet comment, and he didn't act amused. Instead, he released a statement that hit like a thunderbolt. "Let's be clear, this house is mine. Porsha will never own it." His tone was not playful or romantic. It wasn't sarcasm. It was sharp, serious, and final. A shocking boundary. Think about the weight of that. A man publicly declaring that his wife does not and will not own the house she lives in. It wasn't whispered behind closed doors. It wasn't said in private. He told the entire world, leaving no space for interpretation. Why would he do that? Why draw such a hard line when most high-profile partners would laugh it off, maybe even take the chance to post something affectionate? The answer lies in control. The house as a symbol. To Simon, that mansion isn't just another piece of real estate. It is a symbol of everything he has built, the years of hustling, investing, and fighting through setbacks to create an empire. Every stone, every chandelier, every polished surface is, in his mind, proof of his success. Allowing anyone, even his wife, to imply ownership crosses a line he is not willing to tolerate. The house represents his trophy, his monument, his crown jewel. By drawing a boundary, he was not simply protecting a building. He was protecting what the house stands for in his story: his independence, his legacy, his authority. Lessons from the past. Simon has been married before. He has lived through breakups, messy divorces, and financial battles that left scars. He knows how fast affection can turn into lawsuits. For him, this was not just a reaction to one Instagram video. It was a strategic move, a mixture of emotion and legal defense. By stating it publicly, he planted his flag in the ground. If trouble comes later, if their marriage hits turbulence, nobody can say they were confused about who owns what. Still, his bluntness caught everyone off guard. Fans react. People expected Simon to play it smooth. Maybe tease Porsha about showing off, maybe call her his queen in the caption. Instead, he came down with a hammer. Fans instantly split into two camps. Team Simon argued that he was smart. Why risk losing property in a high-profile marriage? Why let blurred lines threaten his legacy? Team Porsha argued that he humiliated her. To them, Simon's statement made her look like a guest in her own home, stripping away dignity in public view. The debate wasn't really about real estate. It was about image, power, and control. Who really runs the show in their relationship? Simon made sure his answer was crystal clear. The internet runs with it. Simon's statement spread quickly. Blogs covered it, podcasts dissected it, Twitter turned it into memes, and YouTube creators spun entire episodes around it. Social media lit up with speculation. But while the world debated, all eyes turned to one person, Porsha. How would she respond? Would she clap back? Would she stay silent? Porsha's subtle response. Instead of firing back directly, Porsha posted something quieter, but just as powerful. A quote about knowing your worth, protecting your peace, and walking away from disrespect. She didn't name Simon. She didn't confirm anything, but the timing made it impossible to miss the connection. Fans immediately assumed it was aimed at her husband. Was she shading him? Was she signaling trouble? Nobody knew for sure, but the internet treated it like confirmation. Her choice not to argue directly added mystery to the situation. Silence became her weapon. Cracks behind the scenes. Meanwhile, insiders whispered that this wasn't the first sign of tension. Porsha had reportedly been pushing for more independence, wanting to shine as more than just Simon's wife. She has always been glamorous and successful in her own right, but in this marriage, she wanted a spotlight that wasn't only tied to him. Simon, however, didn't see it that way. For him, the mansion post wasn't just about a video. It was about her stepping into territory he considered exclusively his. Symbolically, she was trying to rewrite the story, to be the queen of a castle he built. And that, for Simon, was unacceptable. Why the house matters to Porsha. For Porsha, though, the mansion was more than marble and chandeliers. It was validation, proof that after years of criticism, from her relationships, reality TV appearances, and career moves, she had finally made it. Living in such a grand home was more than comfort. It was part of her personal brand. When she posted that video, she wasn't just showing off. She was declaring that she had arrived, that she belonged in the world of high status and wealth. Simon's response stripped that away in an instant. What looked like a win suddenly turned into a warning. Public detective work. After the statement, fans began analyzing every detail. Was Porsha smiling less in photos? Did Simon seem distant at events? Were they vacationing separately? Social media turned into an investigation board, with every caption and outfit treated like evidence. Rumors began flying, heated arguments, talk of legal preparations, whispers of separation. Some claimed Simon was already tightening his financial walls, preparing for the worst. Suddenly, this wasn't just about one mansion. It was about the foundation of their relationship. Simon's strategy. Simon is not impulsive. His move was deliberate, designed to send a clear message. By going public, he wasn't only talking to Porsha, he was talking to everyone watching, fans, critics, even future lawyers, if it ever comes to that. He wasn't defending property, he was shaping the narrative. He was saying, "This is my empire, and I decide who has a stake in it." It was chess, not checkers. Porsha's silent power. But silence can be just as strategic. Instead of fighting him openly, Porsha leaned into her image. She doubled down on glamorous photo shoots, uplifting captions, and flawless public appearances. She wasn't defending herself, she was elevating herself. That move turned her into more than a victim of Simon's words. It made her look strong, independent, and in control of her own brand. Behind the scenes, though, insiders whispered about growing distance. Friends claimed Porsha wanted more say in their shared ventures. Others said Simon was guarding his finances more tightly than before. Trust, once easy, now seemed harder to find. A pattern from Simon's past. People who followed Simon's history weren't shocked. Ex-partners described him as controlling with money and protective of his image. Luxury and success masked an underlying desire to maintain full power. The mansion, in this story, became more than just a house. It was a reminder of his authority, a line drawn in stone. But this time, the situation was different. Porsha is not a silent partner. She is famous in her own right, with her own platform, fans, and income. She understands public perception, and she knows how to use it. Even if Simon controls the property deeds, Porsha can influence the story. A single interview, a single post can tilt the public narrative in her favor. That's why her silence feels so loud. It's not surrender, It's suspense. What happens next? Simon has drawn his line. He's claimed his empire. The world is waiting to see if Porsha will step over that line or walk away from it entirely. Fans keep watching like it's a soap opera, but the truth is more serious. This is not just entertainment. It's a real marriage with real stakes. If it collapses, the fallout will not only be emotional, it will be financial, reputational, and deeply personal. Insiders claim conversations have already begun, not about divorce, but about space, property use, and control over their shared image. Out in public, the couple still appears together, but the warmth has faded. The smiles look forced, the energy feels cold. In celebrity culture, that silence often speaks louder than a press release. The silent third partner. At the center of it all remains the mansion. No longer just a home, it has become a symbol of everything they cannot agree on: ownership, respect, power, and control. Every chandelier and marble floor now carries a different weight. To Simon, it is the crown jewel of his empire. To Porsha, it was supposed to be a symbol of her victory, her validation. Instead, it has become the wedge driving them apart. And as long as both of them keep playing chess with public perception, the mansion will remain the silent third partner in their marriage, untouchable, towering, and cold. More than real fate. In the end, this story is not about property. It is about legacy. Simon is determined to protect his, while Porsha is determined to build hers. Both are fighting to make sure their story is not written by the other. And for now, the world is left watching, waiting for the next move in a game where the mansion may be the prize, but the real battle is over power.